Look at this fang. It is approximately 1 millimeter long, hollow, curved, like a hypodermic needle, because that is exactly what it is. Right now, somewhere on Earth, one of these is pressing into human skin, and the owner has no idea what is about to happen inside their body. Spider venom is not one thing. It is a chemistry experiment with a specific target: you. Some formulas dissolve tissue from the inside out, leaving wounds that take months to close. Some hijack your nervous system so completely that your muscles stop taking orders from your brain. One species produces a venom so precisely engineered that it can cause a sustained, painful erection lasting hours. Everything you think you know about spider bites, that they are rare, that they are obvious, that you would know if one happened to you, is almost entirely wrong. A 2016 medical review found that 78% of published spider bite case studies did not meet the basic criteria for a confirmed spider bite. The wound was there, the pain was real, the damage was documented, but in nearly 8 out of 10 cases, no spider was ever verified, meaning most of what the medical literature calls a spider bite is actually something else entirely: a bacterial infection, an allergic reaction, a misdiagnosed skin condition. Wearing the spider's reputation like a borrowed coat, scale that to what it means. The creatures you fear most may be getting blamed for damage they never caused. And the genuinely dangerous ones are, statistically, the least likely to bite you at all. There are 10 spiders on this list. They are ranked by what their venom actually does, not by reputation, not by fear, but by what happens inside a human body when the chemistry gets in. The bottom of the list is unsettling. The top is something else. Painful bite, local swelling, not medically significant. The wolf spider is feared because it is enormous, fast, and hairy, and looks exactly like something that should be dangerous. It is not. It is just very good at the performance. For decades, blamed for necrotic wounds. Then, researchers re-examined the original study and found the methodology did not hold. Controlled bite studies on human volunteers produced no necrosis. No verified bite has ever caused tissue death in an otherwise healthy person. 30 years of fear, zero confirmed evidence. Chemically identical venom to the black widow, same neurotoxin, same mechanism, but injected in far smaller quantities. Painful, occasionally causing local cramping, rarely systemic. It has the weapon. It tends to leave it, mostly holstered. It bites only when cornered, trapped inside clothing or bedding, pressed against skin, with no exit. Its cytotoxic venom destroys cells on contact. Most bites heal cleanly. In severe cases, the wound expands over weeks, dead tissue sloughs away, and what remains is an open lesion that can take months to close. The venom does not discriminate. It dissolves whatever it touches. Over 2,500 poison control calls per year in the US alone. Alpha-latrotoxin floods the nerve muscle junction, forcing every affected muscle to fire simultaneously. Severe cramping, rigid spasms, sweating, nausea, chest pain. The Australian redback, same venom, same result. Rarely fatal with modern antivenom. The hours before treatment arrives are, by all accounts, genuinely awful. Same cytotoxic mechanism as the brown recluse, amplified. Around 15% of documented bites progress to systemic loxocelism, venom entering the bloodstream, breaking down red blood cells, in severe cases, triggering kidney failure. 4% of cases in one study resulted in death, indistinguishable from a brown recluse, lives in homes, hides in furniture, bites when disturbed. Almost no documented human bites. It lives in remote deserts, buries itself in sand, avoids contact at all costs. What is known comes from animal studies, simultaneously hemotoxic and cytotoxic, capable of catastrophic tissue, death, and blood vessel collapse. The absence of more data feels, on reflection, like a mercy. The Brazilian wandering spider, Phaneutria nigriventa, carries what pharmacological studies have described as the most virulent spider venom in the world. More toxic by weight than both the black widow and the Sydney funnel web. It is an active hunter. It does not build webs. It wanders, which is how it ends up inside shoes, inside clothing, inside banana shipments that travel to supermarkets in countries where nobody is looking for it. When threatened, it rears up on its back legs and sways, a threat display that researchers have described as uniquely effective at triggering alarm in humans. It does not hide. It makes itself visible. Its venom contains a compound called PNTX2-6 that activates the same nerve channels involved in male arousal, but locks them open, causing severe, sustained priapism. The pain is described as extreme. The duration can be hours. The condition, if untreated, can cause permanent tissue damage. Researchers have been studying this compound as a potential treatment for erectile dysfunction. The spider's venom, which causes one of the most painful and medically dangerous symptoms of any bite, also happens to contain a pharmaceutically useful molecule. Evolution built a weapon. We are trying to turn it into a drug. On the bright side, at least someone is finding a use for it. The standard venom rankings fail here because the most dangerous spider is not simply the one with the most toxic venom. It is the one whose venom is most toxic, in the most accessible location, in the largest quantities, delivered by the most aggressive animal. The Sydney funnel web, Atrax robustus, carries atracotoxin, a neurotoxin that attacks voltage-gated sodium channels in the nervous system, forcing nerve cells to fire continuously and uncontrollably. The onset of severe envenomation can begin within 28 minutes. In small children, death without treatment is possible within 15 minutes. The male is more dangerous than the female. Its venom is more potent, and the male wanders in summer, entering homes, falling into swimming pools, hiding in shoes. It is aggressive without provocation. When it bites, it locks its chelicerae in and bites repeatedly, injecting as much venom as possible. Here is the what-if that changes the framework. Before antivenom was developed in Australia in 1981, the Sydney funnel web had an estimated fatality rate high enough that it was considered one of the most dangerous animals on the continent. Since the introduction, there has not been a single confirmed death. Not one. The venom has not changed. The spider has not changed. What changed is that a 1,981 medical intervention effectively neutralized the most dangerous spider on Earth, and it has stayed neutralized for over 40 years. The Brazilian wandering spider shares this position because, in areas without immediate anti-venom access, remote regions, and under-resourced hospitals, it remains acutely life-threatening. The difference between number 1 and number 2 on this list is not the venom, it is the postcode. Every spider on this list spent millions of years refining a weapon that was never aimed at you. You are too large, too rare an encounter, and too poor a meal to be the intended target. The venom exists for insects, for small prey, for self-defense in the last possible moment before death. You are collateral, an accidental recipient of chemistry that was designed for something else entirely. And yet, the funnel web's venom, once capable of killing a child in 15 minutes, has not killed a single person in over 40 years. Not because the spider changed, because we studied it, understood it, synthesized a counter, and filed the problem undersolved. The most dangerous fang on Earth is now, in a country with a functioning health system, a medical inconvenience. The spider does not know its venom has been neutralized. It still rears up. It still bites. It is still running the same program it ran before 1981. You just changed the outcome. But if the most dangerous venom on Earth has been neutralized by a molecule we synthesized in a laboratory in 1981, because researchers studying the Brazilian wandering spider's venom compound are already in clinical trials, the molecule that causes one of the most agonizing symptoms of any bite on this list is being developed right now as a pharmaceutical. The compound that evolution built as a weapon is being retooled as a treatment. The line between venom and medicine has always been thinner than it looks. The question is just who is doing the rewriting and what they find when they look closely enough at what was designed to hurt.